Hello and welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and this week's game review. Today I'm going to talk about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and I guess you could say some of the interesting things that I've noticed with my second playthrough of this game. It's odd, to say the least. I never noticed it. Let's put it that way. So, the first time that I played this game, I was very meticulous about it in that respect. I would go through and I thought that I was searching every corner and reading all the dialogue and things to that effect. And while I was doing that, truly, I was forgetting more of the game than I was remembering. And that had I'm guessing that had a lot to do with how I played the game initially in that respect. I think this game took me like 2 years to complete the first time I played it. How I played games throughout my life is I would play like 5 or 6 games at a time. I'd play like one game for a couple hours and then I'd move to the next one and so on and so forth. And I would cycle all the way through them until I got back to the other game. Some games were long games, some games were short games. The short games I would obviously rotate out faster in that respect. As a result of that, the only parts of this game that I remember are very specific in that respect. As I'm going through the game, there's very specific things that I remember about it, and the rest of it is just a blur. I am horrible with names. Shani, I think, is her name. She's a Jedi turning to the dark side, basically. First time I played this game, I did not get this character in my party. I don't remember if I let her go or killed her, but I know I never got that character in my party. And I guess you could say my reasoning at the time for that was I just thought that that was how that section of the game was supposed to be dealt with. You just, you know, eliminate her before she turns into a Sith and causes problems. There is another option, obviously. And I don't know how that's going to work out, truly. The very first time I played through this game, I also did get HK-47 because I wanted HK-47. And I don't even know why I wanted that robot. Because you gotta do several things to get him. And it's optional, completely. You don't have to do it. I also find myself skipping parts this time through that I didn't last time. Nothing major, just little sections here and there I just skipped through. Because I realize that it's not necessary to complete that side quest or to do that section. I guess you could say that it's odd. It's odd how drastically the way that I play this game has changed over the years. The choices that I make and why I make those choices. I'm still playing a light side character. It's not like I went from playing a light side character to a dark side character or something like that. No, I make different choices than I did before. I see things a little differently than I did before. Um, it just surprises me that this game truly has that many options within it. When I first played it, I didn't think it had. I didn't really think it had that many options in that respect. I felt that it was pretty linear. And it is pretty linear. Um, but you do have options. You can change things up. You can um, recruit different characters. Surprisingly. I'm not going to say that it's like, massive, because it's not. I mean, I don't think that these characters are going to drastically change how you play the game in that respect, or how you end the game. They're not going to like. Uh, None of them are going to be overpowered in that respect. It's not like one of these characters is just going to, you know, make the entire game super easy. I noticed that this time through I use a lot more items than I used the first time that I played this game. And I think the reason for that is I see the use or the need for them. I've always been the type that would save items for battles that you actually needed it for. And there are battles in this game, at least the way that it was originally programmed. Um, Especially in the beginning of it. That if you go through the game and you do everything you can, you will be overpowered for pretty much every encounter. Or you can do what I'm doing this time, which is, I guess you could say, skipping a lot of the side content, which in turn leaves your characters less leveled or less overpowered in that respect, making the encounters you do engage in more difficult. And I like that. You can truly make this game as hard or easy as you want it to be in that respect. And it allows you the freedom to do that. So yeah, this has been an interesting playthrough for me. It has been a unusual playthrough. I've never really experienced playing a game like this as differently as I am now. I did something similar with Final Fantasy 15. The first time I played through it, I was so overpowered for everything. It wasn't enjoyable because there was no actual challenge at all. So the second time I played through it, I used an item that wouldn't allow you to level up until you remove that item. And it made the game, I'm not going to say a whole lot more difficult because it didn't, but it did make it more enjoyable for me. And I only took that, I don't remember if it's a necklace, exactly what it was. But it was an item that prevented you from leveling up in that respect every time that you rest, or made a campfire, or, whatever you were doing. and I only took it off on 3 separate occasions in the game, so that I could level up when the hotels were going to give me double and triple experience earned. So that's that's kind of how I use that item in that game. And I find myself doing something similar to that in that respect to this game today. I skip over the side content to make the rest of the game a little more challenging. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm glad that it's designed in such a way that you can actually do that. Um, anyway, that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.